We're just two guys with one mission, and we've chosen to accept it for some reason. It's time to tell them what we mean, what we say.
So we just watched Deep River Savages, or Man from Deep River.
Yeah, it's a 1972 cannibal movie, credited as the first of the Italian cannibal craze, starring Eisen Razumov and directed by Umberto Lenzi, who has already been on the show.
Indeed.
With another reprehensible piece of shit called Cannibal Ferox.
Yeah, this didn't feature any cannibals. This was my summer
Well, it
holiday
did.
being indoctrinated into a tribe.
Yeah, it was kind of like... It feels like in like 60s there were like pulp novels about like just crazy stuff.
When
like,
I Met the Savages.
Yeah, like of like adventure novels or something like that.
Yeah.
And this was like that, except it was full of animal snuff.
Yeah.
And feeling sad.
Yeah.
And in general...
Beautiful naked lady.
Yeah, and there's a lot of nudity and...
The only thing I can see it getting banned on is the animal snuff, though.
Yeah.
Which is utterly pointless for the most part.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, I think all animal stuff is always pointless, but it doesn't even kind of have any bearing on the story at all.
No, it's just
Like
there.
some animal fighting, there's some snake chopping,
Goat
the
gets
bloody
killed,
goat gets his bloody
monkey
throat
gets his
slit,
head
which is
chopped off.
fucking horrible.
Sort of thing. It's just really irresponsible.
Yeah.
And fuck it. So, okay.
It's in there for shock value and nothing
Yeah.
else, which makes it 10 times worse.
So... The plot is Ivan Razumov is a British photographer in Thailand,
Yep.
doing like docu-photography.
I guess.
And then he decides to go down the river to meet an indigenous tribe in Burma.
No.
No?
No. He doesn't intend on doing that. He intends on going down the river and just taking some photography along the way.
Oh, okay.
And then...
He's just like, no.
That's
That's not what happened.
And then Tuan, the boat hand, gets killed. And then he gets captured.
And he gets captured.
Because they found his one weakness. A net! So they take him back to the...
You seem to remember that. You go for it.
I do remember. I was watching. They take him back to the campsite, and then over periods of time, obviously first they distrust him, and then because of his white man strength, like helping them build shit, because they're essentially making him, he then kind of helps them building stuff, and then the real turning point is the kid has diphtheria, so he gives him a tracheostomy, jungle tracheostomy, with a bit of bamboo, so they're like, oh, you're alright. You're not bad. If you can survive all these trials we're about to put you through, then you can be one of the tribe. So they shoot him with little arrows.
They put him in this weird Iron Maiden of bamboo.
Yeah.
Bamboo Maiden.
Bamboo Maiden. They string him out on a rack for a few days till he's nearly dead. All whilst this is happening, one of the females of the tribe has taken shine to him.
Yeah.
And keeps saying, no, don't kill him. And she's the only one that saves him, for which, to start
Well, there's
with,
an old woman.
He repays her by biting her.
There's an old woman who can speak
one old
English.
woman who can speak English who keeps saying, you can escape at some point, you can escape at some point. Don't do it yet, though. You have to wait 10 moons. So he basically, because he's been waiting so long, they eventually say, or by that point he's done the tracheostomy, and they go like, oh, you're alright. We'll make you one of the tribe if you can get through these trials. So he gets through the trials. Some bloke dies. I don't know if we want to get into the train situation of that.
Well, this is what happens is a guy, something falls on him and he dies.
Yeah.
And he's a bit shocked because one of their sacred rituals is that when a husband dies, everyone in the tribe, all the men in the tribe, have sex with the widow.
Yeah. Which I guess so that she can pick which one she likes the most.
I don't know. It was very unclear.
Yeah, I mean that was never explained at all. All we know is that
it was a
sacred
ritual
after someone dies.
So he's a bit like, these people are a bit strange, but I guess I'm here anyway.
Yeah, so I'll help out a bit.
Then
that's indoctrinated into the tribe.
Yeah.
Then there's a weird selection process for she's the
what was her name? Her name was Mariah.
Mariah. She's got to marry somebody.
Yeah, and
the selection process says it's the weirdest glory hole in the world.
Yeah, you basically got all the guys
nude on one side of it,
and all the guys put their hands through a hole and then molest her.
essentially.
And then she goes, oh, and then she decides...
I'm not really into that. And then White Man comes along and is nice about it and just caresses her shoulder.
Yeah, he's gentle and holds her hand. And she's like, oh, this is good. And then they get married, and then they run around in the forest, and then they bang.
Yeah.
And it's a sweet bang. It's a tender bang.
Sweet tender bang.
And then the witch doctor says...
She gets pregnant.
Yeah, she gets pregnant. And then some cannibals attack some kids.
Yeah, so some cannibals from the next kind of tribe over, which he's been warned about as this is one of the reasons you shouldn't try to escape is because you might run into these cannibal tribes. This is the first we've heard of the cannibal tribe, and this is about an hour into the film. They attack a couple of kids, do something despicable to a young girl, bad luck of it. Then they decide to attack the good tribe? The tribe that the white man is staying with. They burn the shit out of everything. By this point, Mariah has gone blind through pregnancy. Because that's the thing.
Blinded by the pregnancy.
So he gets her to safety. Meanwhile, the cannibals burn down the entire campsite.
Village.
Sure, why not? And then she gives birth, dies. And she says to him, kind of, you are one of us now, you must stay with my tribe and protect them.
Yeah.
Ooh. So sporadically every now and again a helicopter would come across.
Yes.
And he would always go, help me, and then get a good whooping for it. And then the last time it happens, she dies, says, you have to stay with my tribe and help them.
And raise the sun.
And then the helicopter comes over and he's just like, we must all hide. I am one of you now.
Yeah. And then he's like, hey, we got to rebuild the village. And then they get their nets, and then they catch some fish, and then it kind of just ends.
Credits. So yeah, the cannibals turn up for about 30 seconds of screen time, I'd say. No cannibalism is actually seen at all.
No, that's not true. They eat the little girl.
Oh yeah, they do eat the little girl.
The cannibals
they eat a bit of a boob and
a leg.
Is it a leg or an arm?
Yeah, it was a leg.
Oh, okay.
And a hand.
Yeah.
They eat a leg, a hand, and part of a breast.
Yeah.
And it's pretty...
And that's it. And that again is like 30 seconds of screen time.
Yeah, it was...
I mean, at least it wasn't,
It wasn't what I was expecting.
It wasn't the typical cannibal shit that we've watched
I wasn't expecting... It was kind of more of like a really weird...
It was a reportage of my summer with the savages.
Yeah.
Also, I'm staying with the savages.
Yeah, it was more of like a fantasy novel thing than it was just like going, everybody's gonna get eaten at the end, and then the film ends and you just go... Oh God, that was depressing.
I guess nobody got eaten at the end then. But yeah, that's about all that happens and about the whole point of the film.
Yeah.
It was okay. It wasn't a complete waste of time. There were some bits that I liked that I'm pretty willing to discuss.
There's some bits I will revisit when I'm by myself. Is that what you're trying to say, Steve?
There's bits that resemble what I look at on the internet, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, it was just kind of, I don't know, I think because we went into it thinking it was going to be a cannibal film, I thought it was just going to be the same old shit that we've seen before.
Yeah, it was Umberto Lenzi.
And cannibal films, for the most part, are pretty fucking standard in what happens. White men go to jungle, find cannibals torture and eat people, including most of the white people. White person finds a way to fight back. Or not. Cannibal Holocaust.
No, it was different in terms of the story. It was something different.
Yeah,
but I also kind of feel like there's like must have been like hundreds of these novels like in the 60s and 70s of like boys' adventure magazine.
But it wasn't
stories.
even really like a boys' adventure thing. It wasn't like like an Alan Quatermain or an Indiana Jones or something. I don't know why I went Alan Quatermain first. Or Indiana Jones or something like that. There was no boys' own adventure to it. It was just man goes down river, man gets captured.
It was like
man learns to live savage lifestyle.
I'm saying it was like one of those old novels,
right?
Like I can imagine that this story. I don't know what's going on.
No,
I don't know who I am.
It just seemed a bit. I made a film, kind of pointless. Just like, there it is. Nothing really happened.
And I reckon if you took all the animal stuff out of it. It would have been like a pretty normal movie.
Yeah. It would just be man learns to adapt in the wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the animal cruelty just isn't fucking needed. Like cockfight, little...
Muskrat versus snake.
Muskrat versus cobra.
Yeah, it's just like, why?
Yeah. I guess back in the day that was, fancy and foreign and exotic. And it may have felt that, like, we're bringing this thing to the masses that not many people will see, so we're bringing it to the big screen.
Yeah, but it's like...
but at the same time, it's just like, who the fuck wants to see...
Doesn't it come from, like, a place of racism? Of, like, going, oh, look at these people, they're uneducated.
Absolutely, yes.
Look how they treat the world.
Yeah.
But then there's also the other side of, like, but look how they
films.
live within nature.
Yeah.
It's like a double...
Yeah.
Weird.
I mean, most cannibal films tend to fall into that as well. It's just like... point and laugh at the savages.
Yeah.
Look how they live. They wear...
Like, oh, that's so disgusting.
Loincloths and gourds and,
Oh, they're just walking around naked. That's how primitive.
Yeah.
It's like, so, okay, this film is boring.
Yeah.
Racist.
Yeah.
Irresponsible because of the animal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
stars what appears to be Tom Jane playing James Hunt.
Who's James Hunt?
He's a racing driver.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he was a racing driver.
British racing driver.
Oh, okay.
He was the subject of the film Rush by Ronald Howard.
Oh, which I did not see.
Oh, well, you fucking should, because it's awesome.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah. He was awful. His acting was terrible. She was lovely, but her acting was terrible. It's just... I'm not going to... Before you ask, I'm not going to recommend this.
No, I'm not going to recommend this either.
It just seems utterly pointless.
It's a waste of time.
Yes.
All right, you want to score this? What would you give it for the story?
2. You could easily follow it, and it's got a through line to it.
Yeah, but that's in the logical sense. The story. Did you like the story? Do you think it was a good story? That's what we're rating it on. Why do I have to explain this?
Well, I would still say 2 then, because actually the story itself is that boy's own adventure thing. Man wants to explore jungle, man goes to jungle.
Yeah.
Man finds primitive tribe, man learns to love primitive tribe. Yeah, well, it's not
That's the story.
It was just done really fucking badly, but the story itself
was pretty...
It's alright.
Yeah, I go for a 2 as well, because it wasn't that bad, but it was definitely below average.
Yes.
It was a below average story.
Yes.
Okay, what would you give it for gore?
1. There wasn't really any, and what there wasn't great.
Yeah.
What there was fucking real, and it's reprehensible.
No, but I'm talking about
It got effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
So
fact,
the tongue's getting chopped off and the bit of skin missing from the boob. It was fucking crap.
yeah, the tongue's being cut off.
Didn't look real.
Nah.
So 1 at best, maybe even as a fucking 0.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 0. It loses all points because of the animal snuff. Sorry.
All right. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, I will join you in that. 0, yes.
For the overall creativity, I give it a point because it was apparently the first of its kind. It kicked off the cannibal craze.
I still don't see how really, but okay, 1. The cannibals were so almost not in it.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
There's more animal snuff than there is cannibals.
I guess it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't very creative. It wasn't very creative.
No.
It loses points. You gonna give it a 0?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it a 0 too. What would you give it for logical sense?
Well, see, that's quite a high score because it does make logical sense. What doesn't make logical sense? There are nutters that, like this, they go to the jungle. That find these kind of places and live with them for extended periods of time. We do know one of them that did that.
It's more
and
like
it makes logical sense that when he gets there, they mistrust him and distrust him, and that when he helps one of their young to live, that they would then kind of offer him some...
Yes, but it loses points for his continued use of English.
Yeah, that is pretty...
I don't know whether they're meant to be subtitles for the native...
Yeah, I suppose in logical sense,
Burmese.
It makes no logic because we haven't got a fucking...
We didn't really know. Like, there was a lot of guesswork, though it did still make sense without the subtitles.
Yeah, I mean, through body language and expression, and every now and again, little Miss Exposition would turn up and...
I don't know why he was scared of the elephants.
No, I don't know.
When they were trying to escape. I don't know why he
Maybe
went
just because there was
back.
loads of them.
I don't know why he pulled up to the edge of the river and then got recaptured. And I got very confused when the cannibals attacked because I wasn't entirely sure who they were. So I'll probably give it a 2 because I feel like it lost a bunch of points.
Okay. So I was going to say 4, but I'm going to mark it down to a 3.
You're going to whack it down to a 3?
Yeah. Because of the animal snuff and that elephant bit was a bit weird. But the rest of it, in the logic of the movie, completely makes sense to me.
Right, yeah.
And the falling in love...
Falling in love.
That did make sense, I thought.
The falling in love was the best bit of the movie.
It was the only
It was like,
interesting bit of the movie.
oh yeah, it's like nice now.
Yeah.
And then they kill an animal, and I go, fuck you.
Fuck.
That's basically the entire movie.
Yeah.
Was like, you know what, this is kind of a romantic fantasy in a strange way. Like, you go to a far-off land and you go through all these trials, but you meet this woman and you fall in love, and then you want to start a family with her, and then they just kill an animal in front of you, and you go, well, fuck you, movie.
Yeah, because it's literally like, the miracle of birth, this is so beautiful. Let's
kill a goat.
with a fucking windpipe hanging out. It's like, fuck me. Stop it. And zooming in on shit when you... There was a wide shot in a way we could see the
like when they killed
dying.
that little alligator. It's like, fuck you, movie.
Zoomed in on that. And
You're trying to you win me over with your exotic romance story, and then you immediately ruin it by
pointless shock value.
Animal snuff.
Yeah.
Fuck this fucking movie. The music.
It was there.
It felt very stock.
A lot of it, yeah, because it was either travelly drummy type stuff or typical of that era, kind of. So it was there. One.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it a 2.
It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was just there.
Like, if I came across the Man from Deep River soundtrack on vinyl, I might go, and then I'd look at the price, and if it was
£2,
if it was under €25,
fuck off.
If it was under €25,
So if it was €24, you'd buy it. Don't talk
No, that's
shit.
true.
If it was under a £5, maybe. Also, you're thinking...
If it was under 15...
you're thinking it's going to be a second-hand copy, because there's no fucking reissue.
No, you don't know that.
Of course I do.
I don't know. You don't know that.
I guarantee you there's no...
This stuff's really fancy. Look this up. Oh, we can. You gotta look this up.
No, you do it.
I can. We're recording.
I know, exactly.
I'm certain it is.
We'll look it up afterwards, but I don't think so. I think you're looking at a knackered second-hand copy. If it was under a £5,
if
maybe
it ever came
you
out,
would buy it. This is all premised on you, by the way. This is not me. I would not buy this.
Okay, if it was under six, if it was $15.99, remastered on a nice vinyl, with new artwork and nice notes.
I still think you've got way more things to buy than...
I'm saying, if I came across it, I would consider it.
Ah, right. Well, that's different.
All right.
It's like coming across a fucking 10-inch butt plug and just like, I would consider it. Probably not going to do it.
All right.
Probably.
Final score of 12 out of 50.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not the worst. It's not even slightly near...
Cannibal Terror, it's not as bad as Cannibal...
It was Cannibal Terror worse?
Oh, it was, yeah.
Good. Because that fucking lick balls.
Would you recommend this movie, Steve?
Not even fucking slightly.
Would you recommend this movie, Tony? No, I would not, Tony.
No, it's just... No. I'm not displeased that I've watched it, apart from the animal stuff, which always is displeasing to watch. I'm not, I'm not sad that I watched it, I'm not angry that I watched it, but I wouldn't be like... Not to anybody ever, I don't think, would be... Even if they said, like, oh, have you seen this? Should I watch it? I just wouldn't, no.
I go,
wouldn't bother.
I said, yeah, I have. Don't, yeah.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Watch something better.
Yeah. Have you already paid for it? No, don't. Have you already paid for it? Yeah. You're a mug.
Nice one. You're an idiot.
Nice one. You fool.
All right, that's it then.
Yeah.
I'm ready to ready to go.
Bye.
Bye.
Cool. Got through that without mentioning the hot Asian chick once. Nice.